Guys, it's been so long since I've spoken about these two fragrances, although I mention them here and there in various videos. But it's been a while, and I've been wanting to do a comparison of these two fragrances from Tower Perfumes. L'air du Désert Marocain, which is this right here, and A Coeur du Désert, this one right here. Two fragrances from the house of Tower Perfumes. And one's an Eau de Toilette Intense, the original, which launched in 2005. That's called L'air du Désert Marocain. And A Coeur du Désert is an extrait de parfum concentration of the same fragrance, which launched 11 years after in 2016. In today's video, I'm talking about these two fragrances, and I'm also going to talk to you about FragranceBuy Canada's Boxing Day sale, which is happening today. And I'm going to give you the deals rundown, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you about the fragrances from the house of Tower Perfumes called L'air du Désert Marocain and, of course, A Coeur du Désert. If you search my channel for Tower Perfumes, you'll find a lot of videos on the channel about the house. And I've shot videos with Andy Tower, who is the perfumer of these fragrances as well. So L'air du Désert Marocain is almost 20 years old. Next year it'll be celebrating its 20th anniversary. But before I get to the fragrances, let's talk about the Boxing Day sale over at FragranceBuy. It starts on Thursday, December 26th, which is today, ends Sunday, December 29th, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. The discounts are curated collection only. Buy one, get one 50% off with code BOX50. So all buy one get one free eligible items can be found at a link, and I'll have that link in the info box. There's also side-wide 10% off discount stackable with box 10, free shipping over USD 99 with code BOXSHIP. Loyalty members check emails for VIP discounts and free niche samples, 1,000 free niche samples, one per customer on orders over USD 99 added to qualifying carts automatically at checkout. So these two fragrances are selling over at FragranceBuy. They're actually discounted from what they normally sell. So go check it out over there and get your bottles, because these are amber fragrances and they're one of my favorite amber fragrances of all time. And for me, it's a completely original amber fragrance. It really doesn't smell like a lot. There are others that might come close, but what Andy Tower has created with these two fragrances is amazing. It is on the dry side, well, at least for the Eau de Toilette Intense version, the original, and the A Coeur du Désert gets a bit more sticky ambery, but both of them are still on the dry side. So as I said, the original L'air du Désert Marocain, the air of the Moroccan desert, was launched in 2005. It features notes of Ambergris, Coriander, Petitgrain, Cumin, Cedarwood, Lemon, Bergamot, Vetiver, Cistus Labdanum, Jasmine, Bourbon, Geranium, Patchouli, and Vanilla. Typically, when a fragrance is overdosed with ambergris, I might be a little cautious with that, but I've been a big fan of this fragrance for the longest time, ever since I got my nose on it, probably around 2012, when I was just getting into reviewing fragrances, and it was an instant love. I love everything about it, and thankfully the ambergris is not on the animalic side. But typically also in amber fragrances, I shouldn't say typically. Sometimes in amber fragrances, they don't use ambergris. It's basically like Labdanum with the addition of resins and balsams and vanilla to create more of a almost gourmand-leaning amber fragrance. But with this one, it's the combo of the ambergris and also the Labdanum to create this kind of smoky, slightly marine-esque take on an amber fragrance. And it's done. Ambergris is used in some amber fragrances, and I think used in the right amounts, it could smell really, really great. But for me, what's great about this fragrance is the fact that it has an overdose of coriander and an overdose of Petitgrain. These two notes really, really stand out for an amber fragrance. And also, I feel like coriander is a fresh spice, Petitgrain is a citrusy note. It's the leaves of the bitter orange tree. So it's an amber that has this kind of bitter, green, orangey, leafy kind of a smell against the coriander spiciness, the fresh spiciness, and of course the ambergris as well. Of course we have Labdanum in this as well. It is pretty prominent. It creates kind of a base along with the ambergris, but for me it's the ambergris, coriander, Petitgrain, and sometimes even the Cumin that comes in here to give you the amber accord that I'm very familiar with the smell of. It's a great, great fragrance. I absolutely love it. It's very unique, truly a unique amber. Again, as I said, there's nothing out there like it. There might be some fragrances that might come close to it, but to me, it doesn't smell like any other amber fragrances. It doesn't smell like Ambre Sultan from Serge Lutens. It doesn't smell like Ambre Presso from the house of Maître Parfumeur Gantier. It doesn't smell like Le Lion from Chanel, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's truly a unique amber, and for me, what makes it unique is the Coriander and Petitgrain. Those really, really stand out, and of course, giving you that fresh spiciness and the green, bitter, citrusy leafiness against the Ambergris. Wonderful fragrance. So what's the difference between the Eau de Toilette Intense and the Coeur de Désert? They do have different names. They use the same notes breakdown for the fragrances, but there is a difference for me. I feel like Coeur de Désert is more of a refined, luxurious take on the original. And for me, I mentioned dry. These are dry amber fragrances. I feel like Coeur de Désert is not as dry as L'air du Désert Marocain, whereas L'air du Désert Marocain is extremely dry. It's on the dry side, but they've given it a bit of a more sticky, syrupy consistency with the Coeur de Désert. But both of them are still on the dry side. Between the two, it's about a Coeur de Désert that doesn't get as dry. I have dry skin, and dry fragrances typically don't work on my skin. These do, and I like the fact that a Coeur de Désert is definitely a bit stickier than the original, but both of them I feel like are great. The original is where it's at. I think the original is awesome, but for me, the Coeur de Désert is a lot more luxurious, and again, a great fragrance to have in my collection. A truly unique take on an amber fragrance, and something that I think is one of the best, truly niche fragrances in the fragrance world, I should say, because a lot of other fragrances tend to end up smelling very similar to others, inspired by other fragrances, and just built on, extracted with some notes, added with another notes, but in the end they kind of smell similar. But here we have a truly, truly original amber fragrance, and it's a given since L'air du Désert Marocain is Tower Perfume's most popular fragrance. I think it's put the brand on the map. It's Tower Perfumes, Andy Tower, who is the Swiss perfumer of the brand. I would call this an indie artisanal niche brand, and it's a given that he would make a more luxurious take on the original fragrance called a Coeur de Désert to bank on the popularity of the original. It's a great fragrance, wonderful offering. If you don't know the brand at all, as I said, do watch my channel for just search for Tower Perfumes or even Andy Tower, and you'll find a lot of content with him. He used to come to San Francisco quite a bit when Ministry of Scent was Tiger Lily Perfumery, and also because pre-pandemic, I think, things changed a lot with the pandemic and a lot of people weren't traveling. But prior to that, I'd shot a lot of videos with Andy Tower here at Tiger Lily Perfumery, which is now Ministry of Scent, and you can find the fragrances over there if you're local. But as I said, they are selling at a nicely discounted price over on FragranceBuy, and that promotion is running right now. It's not only these two fragrances that are there from Tower Perfumes, there are others that I recommend from the brand. And if you're curious to discover them and you don't know much about them, again, search my channel. I have some lists on the fragrances of the house. You can find out what I'm into and then go to FragranceBuy and see what they're discounted at. But the promotion is happening from today, Boxing Day, until Sunday, December 29th. And again, it seems like a great promotion. It's a curated collection only, so it's buy one, get one, 50% off with code BOX50. And all buy one, get one free eligible items can be found at the link. I have a link in the info box. And again, there's a site-wide 10% off discount stackable with box 10, free shipping over USD 99 with code BOXSHIP. And of course, if you're a loyalty member, you got some VIP discounts and 1,000 free niche samples, one per customer on orders over USD 99. Anyway, those are my thoughts on these fragrances. Do let me know what your thoughts are on Tower Perfumes. Are you a fan of L'air du Désert Marocain? Which do you prefer? Do you prefer L'air du Désert Marocain or a Coeur de Désert? Let me know. Add a comment down below. And again, it's going to be 20 years old next year. L'air du Désert Marocain is celebrating its 20th anniversary. And again, one of the best fragrances I think ever made in the niche world. And speaking about more of an indie artisanal perfumer rather than, niche perfume. Right now, is there even really niche perfume anymore? There's so many fragrances that are being mass produced, like a factory, and you've got to give credit to some of the fragrances like from the houses of Tower Perfumes, who create very original fragrances that, if it wasn't for brands like Tower Perfumes, I don't think niche perfumery would have been around. Either way, thanks so much for watching today's video. Do let me know, which do you prefer, L'air du Désert Marocain or A Coeur de Désert? Add a comment below. And please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.